Hi guys, welcome to 4Now, today's student source for news.
It's the place where we talk about stuff students actually care about, and today, Clint, we've got a great show.
Super excited, Matt. The very first show of the semester. Let's get this one underway. Bringing it back, a highly relevant issue on campuses across America right now is the rising app Yik Yak.
And Yik Yak is essentially an anonymous forum for college students to say whatever they want, whenever they want, about whoever they want, made available for literally anyone with the app to see.
Yeah, it's a crazy epidemic going on right now. You know who would have an opinion on this
Who would
matter,
that be,
Matt?
Clint?
That would be Hunter Foote. Let's welcome Hunter Foote.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Hunter.
So welcome. Clearly, Hunter, this is a big issue going on around campus right now, around the country as well. Obviously, positives, negatives to go along with this app. Can you talk us through some of the big negatives that you see with using Yik Yak?
Sure. Well, before I get there, just so you know, I got in contact with the Yik Yak founder last week, and about 25% of the student population at APU uses the Yik Yak app.
Wow.
And additionally, we use it so much that we actually crashed their servers a couple times last week. So that's just a problem in itself, is people are just using it like crazy and just crashing servers everywhere. That's terrible. But negative side effects on this campus would be just the lack of accountability that comes with anonymity. I mean, a lot of the times people are posting and they don't have to deal with the immediate consequences, and that's just not what community looks like. I know Brian Jessup talked about that at Chapel.
And so, I mean, you take all those negatives that you just mentioned, definitely so. Matt, what do you think the biggest lesson that students can learn from using Yik Yak is?
Yeah, and I think, as Hunter mentioned, Brian Jessup mentioning in Chapel, he's the SJ president, mentioning in Chapel that Yik Yak was not fostering the kind of community that APU strives to be.
Absolutely.
And I think what students have learned from Yik Yak is that words have power. Regardless of who says them, whether you don't know who says them or whatever that case might be, words have power. And the words used on Yik Yak have really been to tear down and to make fun of, and not to build a community that I think APU is trying to go for. So.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we were meant to not have filters, we would have been made without filters. But we have filters as human beings. We know when or when not to say things out loud. And because of this app, we just don't have filters. And that creates a problem as well.
Yeah, I mean, especially when we speak as, you know, students, journalism majors, whatever you want to call it, just people in general, there has to be some sort of accountability to go along with what you're saying, and that was the first point you mentioned on. But I also sort of wonder, I mean, we all remember the epidemic last year with the confessions page on Facebook, is do we think that this app will naturally burn out? Will students just lose interest in it over time? It almost seems like as good as it was for the administration to address it, will this app die out on its own?
I really think it will, just because as somebody who's living in the freshman dorms right now as an upperclassman, so a couple weeks ago, it spurred somebody to pull fire alarms 3 nights in a row. So people living in Trinity only slept for 4-hour increments for that whole week. And I now know what psychological warfare is personally. And so consequently, I think after that, a lot of freshmen became very disengaged with the app because they no longer wanted to be a part of that. And that was, I think, a really large population that was using it.
And do you think it is a lot of freshman students that are using the app primarily? I mean, it's not like the company can break it down for you.
Yes, I think a lot of that is because I had the app during the week that we had the fire alarms, because I wanted to know if I was going to be able to sleep that night. And a lot of them were, it was terrible. It was terrible. A lot of the posts were about things that freshmen would have to deal with, and a lot of just issues on campus, things about talking about freshman RAs specifically, or different freshman halls. And there were not a lot of things that pertain to upperclassmen, so I really do think it's a lot of the freshman class.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Hunter, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
This season is also the time for new TV and a chance to get addicted to a brand new series. We have the scoop on some of the top new shows running this fall.
Brand new shows flood TV every fall, and this year is no exception. Several new shows are already sparking excitement and anticipation among viewers. We look more in depth at a few of this season's hottest new shows. A to Z follows the stories of the relationship between Andrew, a hopeless romantic who works for an online dating site, and Zelda, a no-nonsense lawyer who comes into his workplace by accident one day. The show stars Ben Feldman and Kristen Milioti and is on NBC Thursday nights at 9:30, 8:30 Central.
Okay. I'm so sorry, have we met before?
Classic pickup line.
What?
Well done, too. But you don't need one for him.
That's a pickup line.
Right
Can
into
you
it.
just back up like
I'm
4
sorry.
inches?
I'm sorry. I just like to be close
How
to
about I
this guy.
show you to the lab?
Great.
Just the two of you, right?
Excuse me.
We'll be back in just a sec.
Have fun on your hallway date.
Next is a new comedy selfie. a new take on the classic Pygmalion story that centers on the journey of Eliza Dooley, who desires real friends, not just social media followers. She enlists the help of a coworker, a marketing genius, to remake her image. Selfie stars Karen Gillan and John Cho and airs Tuesday nights on ABC at 8/7 Central.
You know the first thing about this woman? Do you even know her name?
Natalie?
Shamanique.
In my defense, that's not a real name.
The thing I'm most confused by is...
Plus size skinny jeans. It's like, why?
The new drama Gotham takes place before Bruce Wayne became Batman and tells the origin stories of the DC supervillains and vigilantes, revealing an entire new chapter that has never been told. Gotham stars Ben McKenzie as Detective James Gordon and comes on Friday nights at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Gotham, we will not, we cannot let these killers and these robbers and these rapists and these thugs win. Not on my watch.
Last on the list is the nail-biting drama How to Get Away with Murder. The show follows a group of determined law school students and their ruthless criminal defense professor, Annalise Keeling, played by award-winning actress Viola Davis. The students come in to learn how to be successful lawyers, but instead find themselves tangled up in a situation that will alter their lives forever. How to Get Away with Murder airs Thursday nights at 10/9 Central on ABC.
I don't know what terrible things you've done in your life up to this point, but clearly your karma's out of balance to get assigned to my class. I'm Professor Annalise Keating, and this is Criminal Law 100, or as I prefer to call it,
How to Get Away with Murder.
These are just 4 of the biggest shows that came out this fall. So if you ever need a break from hitting the books, hit the couch with your favorite snack and dive into the original stories and premises of this year's new lineup.
Thanks, Angel, for that special report. Moving on to things going on around the world.
South of the border, suspected police corruption scandal in Mexico leaves 43 students missing and unaccounted for. 2 weeks later, on September 26th, local police opened fire at students and teachers at a college in Guerrero, one of the country's poorest and most politically unstable states. Motive is still under investigation. But on Tuesday, the state prosecutor of the case found a mass grave in Iguala containing 28 badly burned and dismembered bodies. State officials are saying it will still be weeks before these identities of the bodies are confirmed.
Prosecutors have arrested 22 police officers saying there are ties to a local gang. President Peña Nieto says he's outraged and dismayed at what has happened. The problem of police corruption has haunted Mexico for years. Parents of students remain hopeful their children might be found alive.
And here in the U.S., love and equality is in the air. As of Monday, 5 more states have cleared the way for legal same-sex marriages. In Indiana, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin, the High Court refused to hear cases seeking to uphold same-sex marriage bans. All of these states' county clerks are now required to issue same-sex marriage licenses.
The High Court's refusal to hear these cases may mean that 6 more states will soon lift their bans as well. Colorado, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kansas, West Virginia, and Wyoming are all covered by the same circuit appeal courts that originally struck down the prohibitions. If this happens, the number of states permitting same-sex marriage will rise to 30.
And last week, hundreds of people gathered at the Jefferson County Board of Education meeting outside of Denver, Colorado. The issue on the table was the College Board's recent revision of the AP History curriculum. Conservatives say it paints a darker picture of American history and undervalues America's exceptional achievements. Jefferson County pushed back against the College Board with a plan to review the new curriculum and ensure that it promotes citizenship, patriotism, essentials, and benefits of the free enterprise system, according to board member Julie Williams. But students, parents, and even teachers of the district fight back, arguing that this is censorship and education is being manipulated. The College Board has threatened to withdraw recognition of the county's AP US History courses if it is successful in changing the way the course is taught. And this week, celebrities had the tabloids buzzing. So here's Coco with a few stories that made the headlines.
What's up, guys? I'm Coco. Nick Jonas did a photo shoot with Flaunt magazine that got fans going crazy on Twitter. The photo seemed a lot like Mark Wahlberg's infamous Calvin Klein shoe, but I think it's safe to say that he's come a long way from his Disney Channel days. Jennifer Lopez and Kings and Queens actress Leah Remini was involved in a hit-and-run accident by a drunk driver, J-Lo took to Instagram saying, "Sitting at a red light, riding high before some drunk fool rear-ended us in my new whip. Thank God everyone's okay." It was reported that the children were also in the car at the time of the accident, but later Lopez posted a photo letting us know that they were all right as well. Car accidents were not the only scary moments that celebrities faced this week. Paris Fashion Week had an infamous celebrity assaulter, Vitaly Seduk, grabbed Kim Kardashian's leg and almost took her to the ground as she attempted to walk down the red carpet. Seduk later expressed that he wished no harm, but he was merely protesting for his ban from entering the United States. This isn't Seduk's first red carpet scandal. Seduk made headlines back in February when he put his face on Leonardo DiCaprio's and Bradley Cooper's groin when he accepted Adele's award at the Grammys, grabbed Brad Pitt's leg in May, and when he kissed Will Smith on the lips in 2012. It happened. Divorce rumors are always circulating about celebrity marriages like Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon, and, well, of course, Jay-Z and Beyonce. But unfortunately, at the end of this summer, those rumors were confirmed for one of the couples, and it was put to rest for another. Nick Cannon announced that the couple had been living separately after 6 years of marriage in August. As for Beyonce and Jay-Z, the power couple of music dismissed the lies by showing their love for one another on stage during an On the Run tour. In their last show, they surprised the crowd with a performance of Forever Young. Watch the video and we'll let you decide for yourselves how you feel about their love.
Now let's take a look at some different ways you can live a healthy lifestyle. Anelli Segato has the report.
Good afternoon and welcome to the health tip of the day. There are many ways that students can maintain a healthy body here on campus, and today we're going to dive into the benefits of swimming, as well as teaching you how to make a healthy post-workout meal. Swimming is beneficial for all ages and can be used as cardio for the day. Many other activities can strain muscles in the body, and swimming is not one of them. The average person burns around 400 calories within 1 hour. Swimming is also a great way to release stress that has been built up for weeks. Swimming is not only a great workout, but also a fun activity. California is known for its sunny weather, and swimming is a great way to cool off during those hot summer days. The best part about it is you can eat a ton because of the calories you burn. Now that we have finished this workout, let's head to the kitchen and learn how to make some delicious acai bowls.
Now that we're in the kitchen, we are going to teach you how to make some acai bowls.
So for the blend, it is some basic ingredients that we're going to use. We're going to use the Sambasun acai mix, the original one. Also some frozen berries. You can get these from Walmart, you can get them from Costco or Target. It's just a triple berry mix with some strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all that fun stuff. And also in the blend, you're going to put some PB2 powder. It's just peanut butter powder in powder form, obviously. So also some chia seeds. These are good for energy after your workout. And for the toppings, what we're going to do is we're going to slice some strawberries. We're going to slice some bananas. We're going to top it with granola that you can get anywhere, whatever kind of granola you'd like. And you can also top it with some honey, and that makes it kind of sweet and fun when you eat it. And we did wash our hands, so yeah, you just get a couple of berries in a cup, kind of like this. And then what you want to do is add probably like a capful of the PB2 powder. And this one is chocolate flavored, so it also makes it a little bit sweeter. So that's also really nice. Sorry. And then this a little bit goes a long way, so you don't need that much. So now that this is ready, I'm just going to cover it and blend it. consistency just kind of has to be between a smoothie and between ice cream. So not that thick and also not that smooth. I'm just gonna put it in the mason jar. You can add as much fruit as you want to it. Doesn't really matter. And these are usually really expensive if you go to places like Bonsai Bowl in Huntington Beach, or even here at Thirsties in Azusa. You pay almost like $6 for it, so the fact that you're making it makes it so much more cheaper. Just add some honey to it. That was a lot. This is the finished acai bowl. Erica's gonna try it.
Yum. Thank you for watching our health tip of the day.
We hope you enjoyed the swimming tips, and we hope that you learned how to make your own acai bowl for when you're done working out. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for that, girls. Matt, I'm excited to make my first acai bowl.
I think I'm excited too.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm very excited about this. Next up, we've got the very special privilege of talking to one of APU's very own professors, Dr. Leslie Wickman. And as we're about to find out, Dr. Wickman is so much more than a professor. So let's welcome her on set. Dr. Wickman, thank you for being here with us today.
Very excited to have you.
I had the pleasure of taking one of your classes, and I do know that before APU, you spent some time working with NASA. So could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. I spent about 12 years working with NASA on various projects, including the Hubble Space Telescope and the International Space Station. They also funded my dissertation research for my PhD on reduced gravity spacesuit design. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, working with NASA, Matt, it's something that, you know, most people dream about, nothing more than that. But you actually getting to work there, being inside of that, what was your single favorite part of getting to work with that organization and the people within it?
Well, in terms of maybe the most fun part was going through all the astronaut training and stuff that I got to do. Flying on the KC-135 research aircraft that flies parabolas. It's also affectionately known as the Vomit Comet.
The Vomit Comet.
Working in the water tank with the astronauts, doing simulations for various operational missions and repair missions for the Hubble Space Telescope and assembly missions for the International Space Station. I also got to go through, well, scuba training, of course, to be in the water tank. And I got my pilot's license, so I could fly planes, and got some jet time.
Yeah, how could you have one favorite thing when you're doing all that at once?
So what haven't you done?
I don't know. You didn't tell me you were going to ask me that
question. I'm just kidding.
It's one of those questions, but I mean, you mentioned all those things. Not really a particular moment that stands out, but would you say that that's been the most special part of your career thus far?
I got to do some really cool things, absolutely, while I was working with NASA. And, you know, just being able to advance the state of the art of science, especially with the Hubble Space Telescope, also with the experiments that are going on in the space station, you know, that's very fulfilling. But now I really feel like my passion has become the intersection between science and faith, and helping to show people, particularly students, that you don't have to put your brain on the shelf to study science, and you can be a faithful Christian as well as a top-notch scientist. And I think that's super important, because I feel like we need more faithful Christian scientists out there.
Yeah, so I mean, moving from NASA to APU, was faith one of the biggest things you wanted to incorporate into your studies and into the work you were doing? You kind of just mentioned that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely a God thing, getting me from working on NASA projects to here at APU. But it was kind of through a sequence of events, and you know, I just really felt like God was laying on my heart that it was time to take the strong science and technology background that I had and put it together with my faith, and help others to see the connections and to realize that, again, you don't have to choose one or the other. You can have both, you know, strong faith as well as being a good scientist. And
absolutely.
Yeah, so I actually started looking around for positions at Christian colleges, and I had an offer from Biola before anything opened up.
Glad we turned that one down, right?
But kind of at the 11th hour, when I was in a place where I had to make the decision rather quickly, the position at the Center for Research and Science opened up, and it was responsible for integrating science and faith here on campus. So it was really an ideal fit for me.
That's unbelievable. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. Now we'll send it over to Katie Ridge-Creek for this week's sports.
This week in sports, we'll be talking upset Saturday, Monday Night Football, and MLB playoffs. In college football news, previously ranked number 2 University of Oregon fell to the University of Arizona Wildcats last Thursday, kicking off a series of 4 more top 8 team losses on Saturday, which included Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and UCLA. Oregon dropped to number 12 in the Week 7 rankings, while previously unranked Arizona climbed to number 10. Russell Wilson rushed for 122 yards in Seattle's Monday night win over the Washington Redskins, setting a Monday Night Football record for most single-game rushing yards by a quarterback. In hockey news, the defending Stanley Cup champions, LA Kings, remain atop power rankings as the regular season kicks off. Chicago, Anaheim, St. Louis, and Boston wrap up the top 5. For the first time since 1985, the Kansas City Royals made MLB playoffs. This weekend, they will take on the Baltimore Orioles in the American League Championship Series. The Royals and Orioles swept the Los Angeles Angels and the Detroit Tigers, respectively, in the divisional rounds before advancing to the Championship Series. Additionally, the San Francisco Giants and St. Louis Cardinals will compete for the National League title. This has been Katie Ridge-Creek with sports. Back to you in the studio.
And thanks for that, Katie. College is hard enough without the added struggles of everyday life. Here are a few tips and hacks to help get you through the day.
First, Clint, are you tired of snoozing past your alarm and
yes.
missing class? Well, sleep no more. This is a simple secret I got for you. So what you're going to want to do, put your smartphone in at night and put it in a cup speaker face down. That's going to crank up the volume and it's going to force you out of bed.
Wow, that is impressive stuff, Matt. All right, now that you are ready, out of bed, ready to go, you're still not fully awake. Well, Matt, what is the solution for that? Well, it's a fresh cup of coffee, of course.
Of course.
Too bad, we're all just a little bit broke from paying expensive tuition fees, and we're kind of too poor to afford a coffee maker. So here's a college-friendly alternative for all you caffeine addicts.
So what you're going to need is a plastic cup, a rubber band, a coffee filter, a mug, some hot water, and coffee grounds. So first, you're going to cut a hole into your cup, place the coffee filter over the hole, and secure it with a rubber band. Now, take this cup, put it upside down over your mug, and then you're going to take your coffee grounds, put a little bit on here. Just fill up the you want to do that?
Let's go for this, Matt. Absolutely.
Fill that up for me,
We're here.
Clint.
We got to see how this works.
Place the coffee grounds on top of the filter, and then slowly and surely, you're going to want to pour your water over that. Just let it brew. And it's going to be a drip system here.
Wow.
Not a French press. Clint.
Not a French press.
Not a French press and not an espresso machine, but it gets the job done. You've got a cup of Cowboy Joe. And, you know, I think that I can't wait for this to be done. I'm going to put this over here, let it brew.
I think it's ready for some sugar and creamer, right, Matt? But you don't take your coffee like that.
I don't
Always
take my
black,
coffee
right?
with sugar and creamer.
Exactly.
And you know, after a long day of stressful classes, you just don't feel like using your arm to hold out your tablet while watching, binge watching Netflix. So we've got a solution for you. You take 2 of these bad boys. These are those hooks that you see on everyone's walls that hang pictures, posters, whatever you want. You're going to take 2 of these, put them at an eye level on your bed.
Make me the
You're going to be
wall,
the wall right next to my bed. I'm going to take my tablet like so and just pop it up there. Press play. I'm ready to binge watch How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother, one of the best shows you can binge watch, right, Matt?
One of the best.
Well, that's all the life hacks we have for you today. Tune in next time for some more brilliant tips.
And thanks for joining us today on today's show. Be sure to follow us, like us, tweet us, friend us, LinkedIn us. You know the drill.
All of it, right? All right, folks, thanks for joining us. That's all for now.